Hello. Hello, people. How are you today? It's Kimberly with Inner Awakened Mastery and checking in with everybody. That new moon that was it a new moon? It was a full moon. The full moon we just had, the one that was in Aries. It's like I went live with the cards and never came back. Well, I got so like knocked out while I was actually showing the cards that day. And then I woke up, I went to bed like at 7 o'clock that night and got up with a migraine that lasted off and on for 3 days. And I could not be on the computer. It was like too much energy coming in to my eyes. So I don't know how did you all do last week? How did you fare with the energy? You know, we've got just a lot of things shifting and a lot of energy in the collective that's being transmuted. And I have a transpersonal human design, which means I'm here for the collective. And so when the collective does stuff, when there's energies, I really, really feel it. I really feel it in my system. So some of you all may have that too. And even if you don't have, if you have the interpersonal one, then you still feel it too, because it kicks in your own interpersonal stuff. So that's what's going on. Okay, this is telling me stuff. So I'm going to share cards today, and I'll come back and whatever numbers that you said last time, I'll come back and give you the thing on it. Okay, wait a minute. Let me turn this on. It was so funny. I did this Otter AI. It's a free transcription thing. So I did it last time, and then I had to go through the transcription and correct all of it. I don't know what I was saying, but it was pretty funny. It kept saying I was talking about Russians, and I really wasn't. And I hope saying that on Facebook doesn't get me knocked off. So let's turn this on, and then I'm going to share my screen. And when I'm sharing the screen, I can't see Facebook, so I don't know that you all are on there doing numbers. I have to come back. That's why I have to come back later and tell you what those mean. So this is going to be for the collective. Well, I've got all this stuff popping up over here. I don't know why that's doing that. I've done something that now it's giving me my mail, and I don't want to know what the mail is. What is this doing, people? I don't know what this is doing. Okay. Showing me. There's my little cards. There they are. There they are. Okay. So for the collective, this energy that we're in right now, we have an eclipse coming up on April the 30th. So we are already feeling it. And the eclipse is in Taurus, and Uranus is in Taurus right now. And when Uranus is in a sign, it's in there, you know, for it's in there for a little bit. It's like one of those generational things. So we've had that too. So Uranus can be that we're like showing your own freaky self and what that energy is and where that comes in at. And with it being in Taurus right now, it's not really happy in Taurus. So it can be really, you could be feeling that you're being held back from being who you are. And that, you know, so I think that's why we're seeing in the collective where so many people, you know, don't want regulations and things like that on them right now. You know, the Uranus energy can be a bit of the anarchist kind of energy, the anarchist that's within you, you know, where you don't want to be ruled by bureaucratic systems and that type of thing. Okay, so for the collective, I added a card that I had before, and then when I redid them, I lost this card, and I just found it this week. I was like, where is that card? Because I was thinking about it myself, and I thought, what did I write about alignment? Okay, so we got alignment today, which is 18 over here. And somebody picked 18 last time, I think. So if you know that was the number you picked last time, this message applies to that. So this alignment card is that's alignment to divine source. So in this card, there is an energy that is that the cloaked one, which is you. It's like you're actually your higher self is what this is telling me. It's like the energy of that in the alignment. And so it's got this, I am going blank, you all. I can't talk. It's like the energies are so high right now when I try to get the words to come out of my mouth. It's not working. My mouth is not working. Let me come into alignment. That's what it's calling for me to do, to get out of my head. So that's what the alignment card is doing. It's telling you to get out of your head and to come into your center and align to divine source. So all of the chakras, the energy centers, see how they're all lit up in alignment? So it's a time to go into that. And when we step into our center, into our sacred center, and I'm hearing to disconnect from all that mind chaos, to that it's a calling. When you draw this card, when the alignment is to disconnect from all that chaotic mind of humanity, it's not serving you, okay? And you're not serving it, being a part of it. And to go into your center, into your divine source, wherever that is for you, connect to it, a part of you that is in that. I'm looking over here because I've got me over here and I realize I'm looking over here at myself. That's why I have to turn in my head. I put me over there on the Zoom thing. So it's a calling of that when this card reaches out to you, because these are all inner inquiry and what is within the inner inquiry. So it's that part. And so for the collective, it is the message for the collective to turn to their divine source and to get out of the chaotic, that BS crazy mind. Okay. There's no answers outside of you. They're not there. They're all within you. So one of the ways that you can come into alignment, that's an easy, fast way to open up your light body, because this Merkabah structure here is that divine, what is above, below energy. So if you put your hands, if you can see me here at your sternum in the prayer position, and then just come straight up above your head, all the way up to that chakra, all the way to that highest thing, come down and open that up. Okay, open that up, and then you're going to bring that all the way down below you, and then I do it down this way too. And that's going to center you into your earth star, the one below your feet. So it's going to open up your whole alignment. And stones that are really good for that is to put black tourmaline or obsidian too, if you're trying to transmute something out of your field, at your feet, and then do a selenite to hold it. I've got like a selenite rod somewhere, and if I hold that, and so it makes this straight energy between your earth core star, your earth purpose, and your higher self, into that alignment to that. So it's bringing you into alignment with the whole, with all that you are. Okay. So that's the number one that we have for right now, which was number 18. I did transmission tree last time. So the transmissions are, that's divine. Well, I've got divine source on both of those. I'll have to change one of them. The transmissions, like there's a cloaked being in there, and she's holding the energy, and all of that's coming to her. Like she holds the transmissions, because we all hold all of the transmissions. So these are the sacred transmissions from the divine. And so that is when you're in that alignment, and then you connect to that, then those transmissions can come into you, like they're your source codes. And so you want to go into, and sometimes transmissions themselves can bring you into alignment, but that is when you're in that place of like, or like, and then that energy is dropping into you, where you get downloads at. Okay. So treasures. I don't know if I did it last time too or not. It feels like I did, but I'm going to talk about it again today. This is going into your embodiment. And when you go into the embodiment of this crystalline structure that you are, then you're supported. Like the whale is there, the dolphins are there. The sea turtle. I remember I did do this last time. And that jeweled treasure is within all your gifts. And I'm not, I got to reframe that. I am trying to reframe myself from calling it gifts to calling it abilities, because that's the truth of what it is. A gift, the definition of gift is like something's given to you from someone else, and the truth is your abilities are within you. They're the gifts that you give to others. It's like you came here to humanity to hand that out, to hand out the jeweled treasures that are within you. Okay, so that's what that card's about, that, and it's in the sacred water, so it's the flow and it's the element of water, which also can represent purification. I did recognition last time. Okay, 23 was what I was told. 23, 24, and 25. So this is communion. And this, there's like an angel. And in this, the tree that's here, there's is a male and female face in that. And when I first, when this is the first painting that I did, that I got up the next day and I saw the faces that I did not put in there. And I was like, what is going on? And I saw these faces. I was like, what is that in that tree? And then I saw the two, they're right there on the corner. I don't want to have my, let me use the cursor. See right there? Here's the female face. And then there's a male face here that looks like, I am going so blank. It looks like, oh, what is it? He looks like the male Mother Earth, but it's the male version of it. And so there's a communion that's going on between heaven and earth. So that's the alignment of that. So sometimes too, when you get this card, it's telling you to go and to connect to earth and to go to a place somewhere in nature that you can commune with heaven and earth, which are never separate from each other. Those, earth is one of the higher celestial bodies because of the fact that she is the all nurturing mother that sustains life for so many inhabitants. So it's a calling out. It's a calling out to you to connect to that. Walk barefooted on earth. Feel that connection. Go hug a tree. Is there anything else that it wants to say? Let's just sit there with her for a second. I feel like there's a transmission in this one itself between the heaven and earth that wants to bring this. That's interesting because that alignment has that Merkaba in it, which is heaven and earth too. Ooh, so just breathe that in and allow that to come into alignment for you. And then anything other than that is, I'm hearing dissolved from your field. Feel that energy of what that's like to be in that communion and know that that communion is always there for you. Okay, empowerment. So this is standing in your own power. And in this, there's like all of these cords and energies that are coming out. It's actually representing where you're corded by others, okay? And this cord, this big cord here is in this solar plexus. And so it's like, where are you giving your personal power away to? And so when you unplug from that yourself, in my practice and experience through all of the years, I don't cut cords, I heal cords. And so, because I have found out when we just go through and cut them, then we start trying to plug back into that again. And if we go in and heal it, then we're not trying to find something outside of ourselves to plug into. And then when we're courted by others, when we have allowed ourselves to be courted by others and they're sucking the life force out of us, for their own energy power, we're the ones that did that. They can't court us and vampire us and pull energy from us unless we've allowed that to happen. And somewhere within us, we're doing it either to get our own significance that, for that we believe that to survive, that we have to give our power away to others. And sometimes that's handed down from family. I started to say women are horrible at carrying out that archetype, but men do it too. So there's a balance. And so when you when you, and this is the high heart. So when you stand in that place of your high heart, so she's just kind of melted. She's like a puddle of energy where she's just melting. And like this is the outside part. And then in here is like her core or its core. That's kind of, it's not really male or female being. So when you draw this card, that's what it's telling you, to unplug from all of those that are sucking the life force out of you and stand in your own power, that it's time to stand in your own power. So that can be family, it can be people around you, it can be work, it can be anything that you are giving your own personal power over to. Okay. When you come into alignment, that's going to help with that too. And when you come into alignment, then it's a whole lot easier to unplug from all of that. So it's the, you know, it can be the over caring over, oh, there's this, oh, look at that when that goes big. This has been a long time. This is one of them I painted in my own healing journal. There's like a snake. See, it looks like there's the snake that's taken, that's almost like an umbilical cord, and then the snake is like feeding off of it, sucking all the energy out. Uh-oh, I messed it up. Let me put that back in alignment. Put it back in alignment. She was leaving her body. When we leave our body, we're not in alignment either. It's like we're here to be in line. That's what the one that had the treasure chest is all about, coming in and feeling that the jewels that are within and staying in alignment. Okay, so this is the beautiful observer, the kaleidoscope. So the beautiful observer can be mind, and it's like the higher aspect of mind. And when we go into that and into that center within, back behind our own third eye, into our, what I also call the Buddhic mind, when we go into that place, that's when you can set and be the observer. Be the observer, and it's like a kaleidoscope. It's like you can just sit back and trance out, and you know, like you would with the kaleidoscope, and when it turns, like there's another fractal, there's another fractal, there's another fractal. And so it's the part of that of being the observer. So this is like so it's representing that, the energy of being the observer. That's got knocked off too. Let me bring that down. Okay. What is this card want to speak out today? So what I'm being told is when you feel like maybe your mind is going in 1,000 directions, that is the fractured mind. And then there's a difference between the fractured and the fractal. And that to ask to align to the fractal, because the fractal is all possibilities. So if you meditate or however it is that you come in alignment with that, then from that being the observer, the beautiful observer, you can connect to the fractal. And then from that, all unlimited possibilities is there. And that from that place is a place of empowerment, instead of being fractured with, with all of the chaos. So when we're in the time period of like these eclipses and stuff, then sometimes this stuff can really show up for us. I don't know if I did this one before or not. We're going to do tranquility. So that's the depth, and that's going into the inner depth. And when you drop down, you know what that's like when you drop down into the waters, and there's this silence, and there's a stillness, and so it's the deep waters of the depth. And where that is within you, those waters that are so still. And so there's crystals, and there's a seahorse. I have to look up seahorse to see what that means when I put that in there. And there's a dolphin that's looking over her, that's there. It feels like it's an ally that's holding the energy to her. Oh, there's a dolphin right here too. There's one there. And then like the school of fish. So this feels like this is some type of unity, community. There's balance within that of how there's no interference in that depth, because that whole ecosystem knows what it's doing, and it works in the depth of the waters. And unless it's interfered with, then it's in its structure of the whole ecosystem of what goes on with that. So when you drop into your depth, then all of that is there for you. I'm hearing that this part back here looks like it reminds me of like what we call the Atlantis, like the lost cities. And sometimes they find those underneath the waters, whether it's seawater or where the face of Earth has changed before. Even in man-made lakes too, where those have been, towns were flooded, and then they find the houses and the structure underneath. So there's something about within that depth, the structure and the foundation that's still there. And what within that is stable, that when you go into the depth and into the tranquility, that you drop into the place of that, what is stable within your foundation, which is your own inner depth. Okay, what number was that one? It was 25. Okay, water element purification. So when the water element is, there's a mermaid and she's holding an ankh in her hand, which is that eternal life. And then it also has a Fibonacci spiral, which is that creation. It's the code of creation. And then the triangle is the symbol of water element. There's I'm seeing what the card's bringing out. So when you gaze upon these, you all see what it feels for you. What is the message that you get from the cards itself, and what's it calling out for you? So that purification, it's like going into those deep waters. And I'm hearing something about rebirthing, and that, because we come in the waters when we first descend from spirit, we're in the waters. And sometimes those waters can be toxic waters, the waters that we're developing into, that during when our DNA skin suit was developing. So there's an energy about purification and going into the purification and the water element that's there for you. Water elements also can represent sometimes when we're in that, like when the moon's going through its cycles. I don't know where the moon's at today. I didn't look to see. And when it's in a water element, then it depends on where it is in your own chart. People can be real, emotional during that time. You can be emoting, and that you don't even know what it is that you're emoting for, because especially with the moon cycles, because the moon is ruled by Cancer is ruled by the moon. And then, we know that the moon affects the tides of the oceans. So it affects the tides of the motions of the ocean, which is the emotions of our own motion. Okay, what is this card saying? I'm just hearing to just let that be, and that to go into that, and that do whatever kind of a purification that you need to do for yourself, whether it's, water, fast, a bath, a shower. It's like, it's when the downloads come in. It's something about that shower. It's magic. It's like, oh, okay. When you can't get an answer and you're quiet and you go into the depth of the purification, the waters, it's like that shower starts talking, it's like, oh, all kinds of stuff starts coming in. So it's something about going into that and connecting into that spiral of that creation code and the eternal life that's there, and the symbolism of that. What else have I got on that mermaid? Oh, I was trying to see what was on her little head thing. Okay. So this is the multidimensional wisdom in the avatar self. So that is, this was actually my last soul painting I did of myself. And it was when I was out in Sedona, and no, it was before. I painted this before I knew I was going to go live at Sedona. And then sure enough, Bell Rock is like showed up in this. And where I was living at was on the backside of Bell Rock. So it was really interesting that I did this painting and then all of that came to be. So there's a bunch of different beings in here that represent the multidimensional self and like the aspects, all the aspects of me. And then the balloons that are like the balloons, the bubbles, like the bubbles that are coming in. It's like those codes of creation. And then there's my dragon, which is one of my gatekeepers. So the energy, the blue and the pink, that represents that the mind and the cosmic, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and that those energies are coming in from a higher source. And then she's crying rainbows. She's got rainbow tears. So there's a purification within that too. This was actually supposed to be a violet flame, and then it looked like an iris too, which can be adaptability. And then there was a lotus in there too. There's a being over here that looks very Egyptian. Okay. So let's call in the cosmic rays of that divine masculine and the divine feminine, and then just feel that come through, like that divine, that's actually comes from the other side, that ray comes in, and the divine masculine, the sapphire and the rose quartz pink energy is coming through from the cosmic rays, from the divine mind, and then going through your whole system and downloading through your system all the way down into your earth core star, and to come into alignment with divine mind. That's what I'm hearing, to your avatar self. Okay, so since this was for the collective, that's for everybody that listens to this and anybody that's out there. We just send all these transmission waves out into the whole collective. So all these cards were like last week they were more kind of shadow cards and where we've been at and where we're going. And so it feels like we're being supported in this next level of this energy that wants to support humanity as it moves through the shadow mind. And to it's a reminder to come into these higher alignments and not to get pulled in to all of that chaos that's within humanity. And that's the only way that we're going to go into unity. Okay, from that, I'm being here. There's Gaia. So that's Mother Earth. There's dragonfly, the tree of life, the irises. So that's that support and love that we always have from Earth herself and the energy of that. Okay, I was being told to, let me find this card, to do the unity card. I don't know what number it is. Okay, here's unity. Unity's all the way over here on the left. It's number 37. So in this card, this is like this face, this being in this hand is like a representation of creator, and creator dreaming in earth, the days of creation, and into humanity. Okay. And so the card is representing Creator holding its creation and looking down on its creation. Okay. So the darker earth, this is earth, the creation, and Creator debating on, is it time to toss my creation or not? When I first painted this, this is exactly what this card told me that it was. It's like, does it stay? Does it go? Is it time for me to start all over? And so the answer to that, let me make it bigger. The answer is the new earth, and it's unity. This is the answer. And that Creator is holding that image for us. And that when we can all stand around the globe and hold hands and know that we're in oneness, and that it's unity, and that there is no separation, and that we all come from the place of unity, of honor and respect, and understanding the unity of all life. And until that, while humanity is still creating all of its burdens that it has created itself with war and the separation, because we are who creates the separation. And Creator knows that Creator can just create again. It's like all of these colors that are in here are this tapestry of creation, and that there's no loss with it, because everything goes back to energy. And we are the ones that put a positive, negative spin on energy. Energy is just energy, and energy is used for creation. So it's that, when is it time to create a new creation? And there's already multiple creations going on. We're not the only creation. It's like we'd be really narcissistic to think that we are the only creation, because there's many aspects of us that are living already within the new worlds and the creations that's out there. We just wake up to this one, okay? And some of us don't. Some days we can wake up and be in our other multiple aspects. That's what that avatar self represents. There's been lots of days that I can do the switch and switch over into, or just even for a second, into another aspect of me and what it is that it's living out. So it's a representation of that energy. And so Creator is calling out for us and sending in the energy through the heart that we wake up to the oneness. Okay. So the inner inquiry with that, if I was journaling with that one, it would be, where are you not holding oneness within yourself? And where is the separation still at? And the judgment, of different of the mind, of separating people into categories, and what that is, because that's not unity as long as we keep separating out with these belief systems. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one too. I changed this card. I didn't have the sunflowers on it, and I added those, and that's to represent a healing for what is being, in our face right now, and with the sunflower. So this is divine masculine, and this card represents the divine masculine, and the divine masculine is inspired inspiration. So the divine feminine is the inspiration, and when they work together, the divine action is the action that comes from the inspiration when we're in alignment. I'm just feeling the energy of that and bringing in that transmission, and to bring it into the container, and be a vessel of that energy. Okay. Now I'm going to quit sharing. So pick a number between 21 to, I'll show you all of them again. Pick a number between 21 to 37. and then I'll do readings on those cards. The numbers are 21 through 37. Pick a number somewhere between 21 and 37. And then I'll come back and tell you what your card is, since I can't see the numbers right here. Okay. Okay, may you be blessed. And is there anything else? I think I'm going to do a call for the eclipse. And we also have a Mercury retrograde coming up in May. And so I think I'm going to do a class on that too, and where that is in your chart. And if there's any classes that you would like for me to do or anything you'd like for me to talk about, then just ask me. It's like, just ask me to talk about it, and I'm more than likely, because I have the human design that can connect into accumulated knowledge, and I'm here to inform. That's what I'm here to do. That's what my whole design is to inform. So just ask me, and I'll talk about it. Okay. I'm going to be on a summit. I was on the interview this week, and that is, I'll send it out in my newsletter, and I'll put it up on the Facebook group too. I think it's the 28th, but I'm not sure. So I need to look at that. I need to look at that and put that up. Okay, let's see. That went back to I don't know if I'm still sharing. How do I get back to Facebook? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna leave that with you all, since I'm lost. I'm lost here within my own little world between all of my pages that I've got open up. So thank you so much for being the gift to humanity. And so that the eclipse that's coming up is going to be in Taurus. And so wherever Taurus is in your chart, that's the house that's going to be affected. So just know that we're already in the energy of that we're already in the shadow of that energy. So you're going to be feeling it. You're going to be feeling it through your system and what's going on with that. Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Bye.